Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's the Guna Tokes with me, Tokes, as usual. And today I'm going to get into my player ratings of that amazing win against Inter Milan at the San Siro. It's what dreams are made of, people. Also going to talk a little bit about Manchester City getting dunked on by Bodo and Tottenham. What's going on with their form anyway? Europe is totally different to what's going on in the Premier League. Gonna get into all of that in a second, but you know what to do, people. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Help me grow the community on the road to 500. Be a part of it, people. Okay, first of all, gonna briefly talk about Manchester City against Bodo. What a turn up. 3-1. And they deserved, I watched the highlights yesterday, they deserved to win that game. Rodri getting sent off. And Gueye cannot arrive soon enough for Manchester City. Obviously, Gueye cannot play until they get to the next round of the Champions League. So they're just going to hope that, they can get the job done in the next game. But they should qualify, without any problems. But City are looking a little bit shaky, a little bit ropey. And they've got to win at the weekend against Wolves. Wolves obviously fighting for their life. So that's going to be an interesting match. Pep is under pressure. Make no mistake about it. Michael Carrick broke Pep and Manchester City the other day. So very funny to see what's happening in Europe. But ultimately, it's not going to mean much because City will probably qualify, no problem. And Tottenham, what is up with that team? Getting a win against Dortmund in the Champions League. They're flying in the Champions League, to be fair. They're something like what, fourth now? Pretty good. And I think that's what's keeping Thomas Frank in his job. As bad as they've been in the league, they've been, like the inverse in the Champions League. So, fair play to them. If it keeps Thomas Frank in a job a little bit longer, whatevs. But it's still crazy that Tottenham, after finishing what they did last season, are even in the Champions League. But, it is what it is, I suppose. All right, enough about them. Getting back to the Arsenal. What a fantastic result it was yesterday. Still buzzing off of it, and I'm sure you all are too if you're an Arsenal fan. And hey, if you're not, you got to be impressed with that result anyway. Brilliant result in the San Siro. Arsenal showed exactly what they're all about. They showed what happens when you open up and play some football against us. You're going to get stuffed. You're going to get, taken apart. Exactly what we did to Inter Milan. Inter Milan really didn't have any answer to that. On the day. And so we walked away with all 3 points. Thank you very much, San Siro. I do love going there. So let's get into the player ratings, actually, because first of all, this is the starting 11. Yesterday, Trossard came in. Jesus as well started. I knew it would be a good game for him to come in. Eze got the nod ahead of Ødegaard, and also Rice didn't play. He didn't start anyway. And so, we made a lot of changes. Lewis Skelly came in at the back. Mosquera came in at the back. I think that was clever, bringing Mosquera in because of the way he plays. He's very good on the ball. He's like, a copy of Saliba almost. So I think Arteta had that in mind, being able to control the game from the back, So that was really, really good to see him have a good game. Going to get into the player ratings in a second. And Miles Lewis Skelly was trusted and had a great game. So well done, Lewis Skelly. That's what we're talking about. He just needed some game time. He just needed some rhythm, and fantastic for him to do it against Inter Milan at the San Siro. How's that for your CV? He does love a European night, that kid. Remember what he done to Real Madrid last season. Okay, so looking at my player ratings for the game. For me, I'm going to start up front with Gabby Jesus. Give that guy a 9. 2 goals. Really fantastic performance, dominant display from him, tricky, caused problems all evening, got taken off. Gyökeres came on, we'll get to Gyökeres in a sec, but 2 goals, gotta be a 9 for Gabriel Jesus. What a performance from him, leading the way. That is real competition in the centre forward position, and it's gonna raise everyone's level. Do you know what? The cream rises to the top. And that's exactly what's happening at the moment. So really fantastic display from him. Saka as well was terrorizing them all night, causing so many problems. Cutting in, going, taking him on at the byline, cutting inside, making crosses, trying to take shots. no end of problems. Give Saka an 8. Really fantastic display from him. Good to see him having a dominant display as well, because it's been a tricky season for Saka, to be honest. Even despite that, he's, one of our best players and showed that yesterday. Trossard, giving him a 7. He had a really solid, dominant display. He really is one of our more experienced players, really level-headed, really knows what it takes to win, really determined, really focused every game, and great to see him help the team so much. Obviously, he got an assist for Gabriel Jesus's second goal, the header across, pre-assist from Saka with that great corner. So it was wonderful to see the whole forward line playing well, interchanging, causing problems. Inter Milan were bamboozled. Brilliant stuff to see. Eze came in, and I'm going to give him a 6. He had a really, how should I put it? Determined display. He was determined that regardless of what, ever happened in that game, he was going to give 100%. He never stopped running, put himself about really well, linked the play really well, and good to see him starting to find a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of form, but I'm going to give him a 6 for that game. Mikel Merino, gonna give him a 7. What a great player to have in your squad, to be able to come in and fit in central midfield, or come on and support us in centre forward roles. He really keeps the game ticking over. He knows, he's very clever. He knows when to make, those kind of cynical fouls, and he knows how to recycle the ball really well. His positioning is great, and yeah, I'm going to give him a 7. Same thing for Zubimendi. Zubimendi, always so controlled, always spotting danger, sniffing it out whenever he can, supporting the defense, supporting midfield, supporting the attack. This guy is awesome. Such a great signing, and he gets a 7 for his performance yesterday against Inter Milan. And that's the thing, controlling that midfield against Inter Milan, was key to it. We did that really well at the beginning of the game, and then Inter came back into it for a bit, and then we regained control as well in the second half. That was really good to see. Looking at the defense, Miles Lewis-Skelly, yes, good job. Really great. Good to see him having a strong performance. He, defended really well, supported the midfield whenever he could, and helped us, have overloads in certain positions. He was really, again, determined to have a good game, to make sure he wasn't going to get beaten. Don't give away any cheap fouls. Don't, let yourself get caught behind by an attacker. And so it was good to see him, playing like we saw last season. Fantastic. The options are coming back. People are hitting form at the right time. This is when you want things to start clicking, and we definitely clicked yesterday against Inter Milan. Mosquera, going to give him a 6. Maybe it would have been a 7. He did drop off a little bit in the second half when Esposito came on, caused him a lot of problems, but he did really well. He battled with Thuram really well. He's a strong kid, and he's got them long legs like Vieira, and he can just nip in and just, get a toe on the ball or something like that. So really good display from Mosquera. Good to see him back in the squad. Great to have some more options in defence. And the fact that we didn't even start Gabriel. Whew, what a position to be in. And that meant that Saliba was our elder statesman in defence. I'm giving him an 8. His leadership, his reading of the game, his courage when he plays, and like his calmness. Did you see that little incident with him and Thuram? And Thuram like tries to get in his face, and like Willow's face is just like completely unbothered. That guy, I don't think he's ever. He doesn't know what stress is. That guy, like seriously. And then Timber, solid right back. You know what you're gonna get with him. Attacks really well, defends really well. Rarely gets caught out. The only time I've seen him get caught out really in a game is when we played Chelsea and he was on the left side playing Estevao. So next time we play Chelsea, maybe we'll play a left back, see how they like that one. But really great performance from the defence. We conceded 1 goal. That was, a little bit of miscommunication and a bit of a worldie. So that's fine. You got to take that. You're playing away from home. You can't keep a clean sheet all the time. But we did really well. And David Raya, I'm going to give him a 7. He didn't have much to do. He couldn't really do much about the goal, but everything else he did perfectly, snuffed out danger when he needed to, got play going whenever he needed to. He's really, his control on the ball is fantastic. He never gets stressed, he never gets bothered, and he really helps soak up that pressure and beat the press, because Inter Milan were really trying to press us in that game. So for me, Overall, what a fantastic performance and result for Arsenal. Those are my player ratings. Of course, we had some subs come on. And Gyökeres, gotta give him a 7 for that fantastic goal he got. Maybe he could, if he'd got that other one where he had a little chance, he definitely would have got an 8. But as it is, 7 for Gyökeres. Fantastic performance from him. Really good goal, well taken, outside the box. And that's it. Competition for places. Gyökeres coming on when the defense are tired. They've been dealing with Jesus nipping about. Now they've got this strong forward coming at them. And yeah, they were shaken. And he got a great goal. Wonderful finish from him. Brilliant stuff. 3-1. Game over. A few other changes were made. Rice came on. Gabriel came on. I'm going to give everybody else who came on, I'm going to give them a 6. You know, standard stuff. But Arteta. Mikel Arteta. I am giving him a 10 for winning away from home at the San Siro, making as many changes as he did, managing the game so well, bringing on the right subs at the right time. 7 wins in a row in the Champions League. First time we've ever done it in our history. That is a 10, 10, 10. Well done, Mikel Arteta. Fantastic. Made such a statement yesterday in Europe. Everybody sitting up, taking notice. That is the kind of statement win I was hoping we would, have against Nottingham Forest. But it just goes to show, what we're dealing with in the Premier League compared to the Champions League, where in the Champions League, people want to play football. These people are like champions of their leagues or leading in their leagues. So they're not built to sit back and defend in a low block, ultra block. No, they want to play. They want to entertain their fans. And if you come to play football against Arsenal, I fancy us to bop most people off the park. So really, really good to see us being, freer in Europe. It's really nice. I think that's where we've seen our most incredible performances this season. Don't forget, we smashed Atletico Madrid. We did the same to Bayern Munich. These are big teams. These are teams that people would put, on the list of potential Champions League winners. So for us to just dismantle all of them, we've conceded 2 goals, one against Bayern, one against Inter, both of them worldies. Can't really do much about that. So I'm going to take this. What a fantastic result for the guys. Champions League, on to the next round. We're definitely finishing first or second, which means that every single game we play, we have the second leg at home, which is a huge advantage. We didn't get any kind of advantage for finishing where we did last season. This time, finished at the top, gonna get this huge advantage. That's gonna be crucial when we're playing semi-finals, quarterfinals, second leg at home. Makes a big, big difference. Hey, why don't you let me know in the comments if you agree with my player ratings? What was your funniest moment of the Champions League? For me, Manchester City getting dunked on by Bodo has to be highlight of the day. Seriously, I don't think there's ever been, quite an upset like that. Big old Manchester City, little old Bodo Glimt, the first points they got in the Champions League this season. Incredible stuff from them. Hey, you know what to do, people. Like, share, subscribe. Really important that you do that to help me grow the channel. And like I said, leave me a message in the comments. What did you think of the game? Do you agree with my player ratings? Anyone that should be higher or lower? I don't think anyone should be lower. We beat Inter Milan in the San Siro. What a day. Still buzzing from it. Hey, I will see you next time, people. Have a great day. Peace. Bye.